Greetings, everyone, from the north, from the east, from the south, from the west. Not many people north of us, but there might be. Might have some. Have some folks up there, up in the very northest of poles, watching on their igloo phones.
Yeah, we'll call that ice.
Where did that come from? So, anything dumb I say today can be attributed to the germs that have found their way into my brain. So just putting that out there. I just got a bit of a cold, but you know, that brain fog thing. We know, of course, we will not be broadcasting in Antarctica because they like to block our streams down there for some reason. That was funny when that happened.
So funny, yeah.
That actually got released after a while. I wonder. I don't know. It was so random when we did the Game Awards. They blocked our because of the Mario movie clip that was played in there. It got tagged and got blocked, but only in Antarctica. In Antarctica,
only.
The penguins could not watch.
Unfortunately.
And the three scientists that live down there. Who, I'm sure they were...
There's more than 3 scientists.
I'm sure they were devastated because they didn't have anything better to do than watch our Game Awards stream. I imagine life in Antarctica is very boring. But anyway... Actually,
it's pretty... There's a lot to do down there.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's an actual... there's a full city down there. It's staffed with a whole bunch of researchers, a handful of archaeologists, and a lot of geology people.
I bet they have wild parties.
Yeah, there's some pretty funny videos. There's this one video of this girl running to the back door. This has been out for years. You've probably seen it at some point. She's like, hey guys, want to see how the weather is in Antarctica right now? So she walks down the hall. She goes to this one door, and you can tell there's just ice build up completely around the door. She opens the door, and there's just a howling cloud outside. You can't see anything. It's just a howling cloud that suddenly starts to force its way into the room, and she has to put her back into closing the door. It's that's Antarctica. When it's in the storm season. When it's not in the storm season, it's actually it's like here. It's a mild winter basically.
Yeah. It's okay. I've seen Happy Feet. I'm an expert on how things are down there. The dancing penguins and everything. So, all right. So I'm gonna put up a poll here. What kind of pressed will we be after the Xbox show? Will we be impressed, or will we be depressed, or will we be just pressed? So let's see what everybody thinks we will be. All right, so some news to talk about in the meantime, though. The big news, of course, the just pressed is winning. So the big news, of course, I was gonna make a joke and say the big news is that they canceled the M&M spokes candies, but everyone's probably
that's
over
big
that.
News.
That is big news.
Is it big news?
Kinda.
I just think it's so dumb from every possible angle. Some people complained about stuff, so they changed it. So then other different people complained. So they were like, you know what? Let's just scrap all these characters that we have been developing for decades. And regardless of whatever you think about the modern changes to them, whatever. But it's like, okay, let's just scrap the whole thing and hire Maya Rudolph. Okay, yeah. When I think about stuffing my face with delicious peanutty chocolate candies, I think of Maya Rudolph. That's, I don't know, interpret that as you will.
I don't know who
Psychologists
that is.
She's a comedian, actor. She was on Saturday Night Live. That's where she got famous, and she's been in a bunch of comedy movies and stuff, but I don't know any movies where she's the lead, come to think of it. They're probably out there, but maybe. I don't know.
I mean, she is in a lot of stuff.
She's in a ton of stuff, and she's pretty funny. She's not my favorite actor, comedian, but you know, she's all right.
So the question is, does she wear heels or does she wear runners?
That'll be the big question. Yeah, that'll be the next. That'll be the next big internet controversy.
Surprise! She wears both.
Her shoes, yeah, one of each. Just have her wear one of each. Make everybody happy. Okay, let's talk about actual video game stuff. Hello, everybody. By the way, say hi in the chat if you're listening. We've got. Well, how's the poll going? Just press. That was
pressed.
the joke option. That doesn't tell me anything.
Pressed.
Maybe just.
Well, I think no. I think that does tell you. I think people are not, and we need to make this clear. We're not like super involved with the hopes and dreams of the mega corporation known as Xbox. We're not tied to this. I think personally that they have been making some decent progress in both the interest for gamers and the desire to make money. And I think they've been squaring those circles in a decent enough fashion that they haven't been needing to destroy anything. And that they've had some slip ups because that's what giant corporate entities do. But I am not. I've said this before a lot of times. I totally suspect that in like 10, 20 years, somewhere in that time period, they will become evil again, because that's just the natural state of the current way that corporations run.
Well,
When you have too many hamsters at the wheel, chaos.
Yeah.
And you just
that eventually
need to restore balance
Phil
to the
will,
force somehow.
Yeah, but eventually Phil will not be in charge, whether he retires or whether he moves on or whether he's forced
Something
out
happens.
or whether there's a Game of Thrones Red Wedding event or something like that.
I always imagined he'd just upload his mind into the latest Xbox and just keep going.
I would like if he sticks with his ideals that he has right now, I would be okay for that, because as far as big major CEO level people, Phil is honestly one of the best. He doesn't take himself seriously in the way that most of the others do. He's not, as far as we know, completely psychotic. I mean, he might have a basement full of bodies, but it doesn't appear as if so. And didn't you, like, that is a funny thing. It's like most CEOs are on the psychotic level. They're just not criminal. But they depends on what you determine criminal.
To become a CEO of a big corporation, you got to have a certain type of personality that you know, and a certain willingness. I feel to kind of step on other people on your way. Sorry,
And
Just be like Robert California from The Office.
And we have seen this in, you know, gaming a lot. Like, we've seen this at an enormous amount, obviously.
Yeah.
We've seen this in EA. We've seen this in Microsoft. We've seen this in you know, obviously Activision Blizzard and just all over the place. I mean, like, Bobby Kotick is on record for telling somebody that he can have them killed. This isn't like, yeah, this isn't just a small thing. This is unfortunately extremely common, and that's just the way things are. And I hate it, but you know, that's the case. So we're not stumping for Microsoft here. What we are stumping for is we're stumping for games. We're stumping for IPs that we love, hobbies that we enjoy, and the hope that people are not idiots.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Baseline expectations.
Baseline expectations. That, and it gives us something to cover, and we're excited to kind of cover this kind of stuff. So yeah,
And spend it with you.
Overall, I think things are looking good in this space, and they are offering a foil to PlayStation, who is a little evil at the moment, just a little evil, not a lot evil. You know, I know there's a ton of hardcore PlayStation fans in our community, and I'm not. Whenever I insult PlayStation, I'm not insulting you for being a fan or even buying into it. what I'm insulted with and what I'm angry with and what I actually am insulting is the actual corporate structure that are making bad decisions that most of the time no one tries. No one is really trying to make this happen. Nobody's really trying to cause more pain from the developer side. They just want to make good games. Like that's the most of them. There is of course bad developers. Certain people who do things that are genuinely like evil, like the inventing loot boxes or inventing financial systems that
Yeah.
are
Who
soul
would have
crushing.
invented that though? Like, I mean, we're not. I think we're talking about levels.
We are talking about marketing people.
We're talking
but
about marketing and corporate
there is
stuff
the
there.
handful of actual game developers. One case in particular, a famous game that everybody is all in the love about, where there is some serious, heavy implications of impropriety in the formation of their last two titles, and how there is this rumor that's been going around for quite a while that has been that is substantial. Let's just say that it's substantially possible, and that is that person may have stole the script from one of the previous writers in the hopes of cornering, showing that they're in charge and not this other person, and just doing things to.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm just wondering why you're not mentioning the game or the studio.
Yeah, because it's not exactly. There's no proof behind it, and the person who got shafted doesn't want to talk about it. So we'll just leave it at that.
All right, let's see what people in chat are saying. So, Kisuke says, if the bodies don't affect the games, then I don't care.
What else am I supposed to make my furniture out of? Tree corpses?
Yeah, tree corpses, exactly.
So you said they're streaming this on the Bethesda
or the Xbox One. The Xbox One does say it's going on in about 45 minutes.
Probably have. Well, yeah, it starts in about 45 minutes. So no pre-show, I guess, except for our glorious pre-show.
Yes.
I'm just noticing that Moon is way louder than Syb, so I'm just going to adjust that quickly.
Ah!
Yeah, don't scream.
Tiny body, loud voice. It balances out, you see?
TBLV. Yeah, gotcha. And my sick brain is not able to figure this out for some dumb reason.
Oh no! Here,
there we go. No! Don't you dare step back from your microphone. I don't know if I should turn.
This way.
So you were a little quiet on the Maximum News show too, so I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. Balance you guys out a bit there. Okay, so Sword Sister's asking, what are we expecting here today? Well, I can tell you what we're not expecting is Starfield. Oh,
yeah, we're not getting Starfield today. That is coming on its own at a much bigger, not a much bigger event as in length, but if they did it here, they would have almost doubled the length of the show. So they're doing on a separate day, and they're really going to be getting into the finite stuff in that. Okay, so that's what's going on there with that, and this is good news for Starfield. I think this is solidly good news for Starfield, being able to have that.
Yeah, if we get a good presence. Old Fallout 4 style reveal showcase. If they do, I don't know, maybe they'll do something like how they released Fallout Shelter, like the day of the showcase and all this stuff. I don't know. I've got a good feeling about Starfield. Obviously, I'm tempering that with just the knowledge of how Bethesda's done things recently. We're holding out hope that under Microsoft, things are going to be going better. Than when ZeniMax was its own satanic thing. But we should be seeing updates on the Elder Scrolls Online. Forza Motorsport, Minecraft Legends, and Redfall, and maybe some other stuff as well. So I mean, nothing there. I don't know, nothing there that's like I'm extremely excited about, but we'll see. Redfall. I mean, Redfall. I'm kind of I'm undecided about how interested I am in Redfall. It's an Arcane game, which I like. I love Arcane's single player.
It really depends if it fills that hole that Left 4 Dead leaves us or not. Left 4 Dead was a game where it was about, you know, trying to escape from zombies, but it became more, and it was like it was a good thing. And we haven't had a good one. There's been no real spiritual successor for it for quite a while. But I do believe quite strongly that this might be what they're trying to do for it. So we'll see. Again, the first trailer came out, and it was really campy and silly, and funny, and then they darkened that tone by, like, you know, they gave it the American McGee's Alice darkening. So, you know, you got normal Alice in Wonderland, which is great and great for the kids. And then you have American McGee's Alice in Wonderland, which is not for kids at all.
American McGee. Oh, man, that takes me back.
Dude, I remember, I think
McGee.
I've told this story before, how I was in Walmart. No, not Walmart. It was, I can't remember. It might have been Walmart, might have been Zellers, might have been something like that.
Zellers.
One of those stores.
Yeah. Turns out there's Zellers is making a comeback. This is going to be hilarious. Anyways. So I'm in the computer section, and I look over, and they got their adult, you know, normal video games, not adult video games, but
not
like
sandwich
like,
making, just
not about
more
sandwich
mature
making,
titles.
just
Yeah.
standard, you know, like Doom and that kind of stuff. You know, that's up on the shelf. That's like, you know, like 3.5, 4 feet off.
Rated M for mature.
Yeah, normal stuff. And then they had down lower to the left, they had the kids row.
And that's what you're kidding.
There was like 5 copies of American McGee's Alice in Wonderland right there. And so I picked them all up. I moved them to the adult. Again, not the adult, but the 13 plus video games. And I moved the little clip over with it. And then I went over and I told the person behind the desk, I'm like, so there's this game called American McGee's Alice in Wonderland. They're like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, that is not for kids. Like, it is not a kid's game.
Nightmare fuel.
No,
and they're like,
indeed.
it's Alice in Wonderland. I'm like, no. It's Alice in Wonderland if Alice suddenly, you know, went on a drug trip and started to butcher everybody in her dreams. That's actually the actual description of the game.
Did you read the back of the box?
They gave me this weird look, like I was crazy.
Well,
I'm like,
they've probably only ever seen the nice Disneyfied version.
Right. This is
which itself that
game.
traumatized me as a kid. The Disney version, when they're dragging those cards off to get their heads chopped off, just because they screwed up in the croquet game or something. I almost cried.
I think it's fine. In fact, more than fine. I think that is legitimately, like, I think kids especially need to see that, because they need to understand what tyranny brings.
Yeah, true.
If you're giving unlimited power to somebody, you will eventually be dealing with that.
Yeah,
because it shows unreasonable behavior, right? It's like something to watch out for. It gives you kind of like a blueprint off of which, oh wow, this person's acting like how I saw this character in this movie. Oh my goodness.
Off with their heads. Beth,
right?
Yeah.
Literally, I've met some people like that. Oh my gosh, it is not pleasant.
Me too.
Not pleasant.
That's half of Twitter.
Right?
It's like, you don't agree. You don't agree with 100% of everything I think and say. You should die. Let's see.
Yeah.
Beth Aniel, don't recognize your name. If you're new, welcome.
Hello.
Says, I hope Xbox will show some interesting games. I hope so too. We were talking about Redfall. Redfall? Is that what it's called? Yeah, I keep forgetting. I can't even remember the damn name of the game. But so Redfall. So I'm I really enjoy Arcane's games, Dishonored, Prey, and to a lesser extent, Deathloop. But still enjoyed Deathloop. It's just I didn't feel it was quite hit the level of excellence that some of the previous games had. But yeah, Redfall is going to have to really impress me because they're bringing it's multiplayer first of all. So if it's kind of just a short single player campaign tacked onto a multiplayer game, not going to be as interested in that. Plus the art style didn't grab me, but we'll see. We'll see what they show us. Hopefully we'll see some actual gameplay. Sword Sister says, meh pressed was not an option. I should have put meh pressed, yes. That's probably what just pressed. That's when with the people that selected just pressed, that's probably what they were thinking. All right, what else? Paulie says, I no longer have any hopes or dreams for anything big game corpo related. Each time I get hyped or hope for games, I feel like I get violated and nobody even bothered to use the lube. Nobody buttered that bread when they made the sandwich.
While we mention that, let's briefly talk about the D&D situation.
Sorry.
So
do we have to talk about it again? Okay, yes, sorry, go ahead.
So it's more relevant now because there's been a surge of people calling for the boycott of Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, really?
And
why?
Well, because they're
it's based on
Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah.
It's based off D&D rules and I don't want that to happen. Because Wizards of the Coast do not own Larian Studios. Nope. They do not have a power control over them. Everything that's made within the license for Baldur's Gate 3 is a different license under different rules than what anything Wizards of the Coast can do, because there is their own rules with Larian Studios, and Larian Studios have worked into their agreement that people will be able to mod the game and that the modifications will fall under standard rules. So this is basically going to be it's like Bethesda. Just the easiest way of stating it. Tons of people make mods for Bethesda games. Tons of people have their own support system set up to, have it so that you can financially support them while they continue to make Bethesda game modded content. That's totally acceptable. There's no weird side rule stepping. This is the rule that will fall under this when you're making anything for Baldur's Gate. So this is why this boycott, to me, it doesn't make sense. And to me, I'm urging people, don't, and we're going to do a whole video on this. I'm going to do a shorter PSA video where I get into the whole nitty gritty of this. But basically, because of the way that it's structured, if you make a highly successful mod for Baldur's Gate 3, and you're able to spin that into a business opportunity for yourself, Wizards of the Coast isn't going to get anything out of that. Okay. The only thing that they're getting out of this is a small, and I do mean small, cut of the sales for the game, but that cut is so small that it's nowhere near a double-digit percentage. So from as far as I understand it, from the people that I reached out to, not just me, Wolfheart RPG came out and he covers the game like full time, and he's got lots of friends at the studio. He was even at one of the panels from Hell, and he said that he spoke with them and that the cut that Wizards of the Coast is getting is not substantial at all, and falls in the low single percentage digit mark. So we're talking like 1-2% of the sales of each game, which isn't very much. Now, of course, if there's 5 million game sales, yeah, Wizards of the Coast will make a fair bit of money off that. But they're actually poised to make way more money off the movie than they are this video game. And why is that? The primary reason is that Larian entered that relationship being the more dominant person. So the dominance level between them, the power level between them was Larian didn't come to them hat in hand saying, please sir, your community would like some more video games, sir. Can we please make some video games?
Oh my gosh.
Larian was basically, it was a kind of a mutual approach. Larian had just come off their enormous success of Divinity Original Sin 2 and was being hailed as one of the big up and coming studios. Wizards of the Coast was trying to launch themselves back into video games, and they had to come to a very amicable and even one-sided relationship from them being on the weaker side, because they had screwed up the whole video game system so bad, and the whole like not bringing quality or what people want, that basically they were forced to, put the hat in their hand, put their hat in their hands and go, Larian, would you mind making a video game, because we're kind of in a like a bad way here. And so yeah, that's the current thing that's going on with Larian, is they're actually in a very good position. If you make content, you can write stories, you can do a whole bunch of stuff within the modded universe of Baldur's Gate 3, and you will not suffer any of the repercussions, any of the issues. You won't have any of the problems, even covering it from a game perspective side. All this stuff that that Wizards of the Coast was tempted to do, they're doing none of those things here. So now that Ash is back, I'll just I'll sum it up in a skinny. Because of the relationship and how strong Larian entered the relationship and how they were put under a completely different license, none of the bad things that Wizards of the Coast are doing will affect any of the content created for Baldur's Gate 3 within the world of Dungeons and Dragons. So you can actually make a mod that covers other parts of their in-game universe, and you're allowed to do that. That's fine. Again, as far as I understand it, this is a solid win for Larian, and they weren't holding or pulling their punches when they said, hey, we're going to do this game, but you're going to allow us to approach this from our own license, and all of the mod creators, all of the people behind them, we're all going to be able to do things that we would not be able to normally do at all within the normal kind of like agreement that they had. You couldn't take main characters and create stuff in them without hitting some kind of a wall. Here, you're absolutely free to do any of that, because as long as it's a modification for Baldur's Gate 3, it doesn't matter. So the other reason is like, well, what if we really want to avoid that and all that kind of stuff? Well, I can also tell you there that after speaking with some modders, they're already devising a modded platform. Not platform. That's the incorrect word. They're creating a mod pack, so a patch essentially, where they will go into Baldur's Gate 3 and they will remove every single reference to every single D&D officially tied thing, which there isn't much. Just in case you like, Wizards of the Coast, they don't own the word dwarf, they don't own the word elf, they don't own the word drow. I'm pretty sure they don't own the word.
I'm sure they would.
There's a lot of one of the words that they do is the illithid. Illithid is a trademark thing. So is, I believe, halfling.
No, halfling. They can't own halfling. Halfling way predates.
Okay.
I mean, okay, I could be wrong, but halfling. both Halfling and Hobbit are.
No, Hobbit is owned by Lord of the Rings still. Like that's still a copyrighted term. You can't go out and
they
write
mention,
a story about
they
hobbits.
refer to them as halflings at some point in Lord of the Rings. Do they not? I remember Sauron or Saruman.
I also remember reading like halflings in Anne McCaffrey books, or like.
Okay, I might be thinking the gnome. No, not gnome. Gnome is not gnome. I don't know. Anyways, the point is that
in the chat says they use halfling because they couldn't use hobbits.
Yes, they can't use hobbits.
They can't use the word hobbit, but that
so at any rate, we're getting into the weeds here. So there's a group of modders who have already looked at this, and there's a consensus at the moment that depending on what Wizards of the Coast will do, there's a good chance that they will go into the game files and they'll create a patch that removes and changes every single wording for something else to create a safe packet in which you can create any adventure in.
There you go.
So that it wouldn't step on
it wouldn't step on any toes at all.
Yeah.
Even if the license that Larian has with Wizards of the Coast, even if that's not an issue, even doing it for just simply what's the word called, a show of support, solidarity, a show of solidarity with people who are leaving D&D because of the actions of Wizards of the Coast, which I completely support. I think that you should boycott D&D and Wizards of the Coast. I think that you should boycott Hasbro. I think that they need to come down so hard that they completely remove everybody currently on their boards who had any hand in making this decision. If they hadn't voted no on this, I want them gone.
That is, I think, the only way that they will restore trust with the.
Yeah, I want I want the leadership at Wizards of the Coast. I want them booted. I want the new staff that they brought in from Microsoft's marketing teams. I want them gone, period. And I want this to be done so hard, and I want them to come out with like saying we're going to make a single change to the original OGL, saying that this is a permanent thing that cannot be revoked by us or anybody else. And then I want them to come out and say, we're going to move away from this microtransaction stuff, and we're going to bring in more services in which we profit by bringing you things that you actually want and actually use, not saying, hey, this stuff is under, this stuff is under, what's it called, monetized, and therefore we need to bring out we need to find more ways of charging you for current stuff.
Yeah, that was that was their whole thing, right? We're under monetized. Our product is under monetized, and so we're just gonna instead of being innovative and offering something cool that people will want to buy or a service they'll want to use, let's just squeeze them for all the stuff that they have worked hard to create.
$5
Yeah.
So
with those things, and again, the fact that Larian is not owned by Wizards of the Coast or Hasbro, they have no financial connection other than this game. I think that boycotting them makes about as much sense as even somebody is hard pressed to boycott Hogwarts, trying to explain that away, because it just doesn't make sense. The studio, everything involved, the whole process, the whole argument, even, because if you're going to boycott this, then you should be boycotting every single product that Disney makes, every single product that Kotaku, every article that they write, every article that Polygon, like they would be hypocrites. They're obvious hypocrites there. And so in this scenario, they're obviously not hypocrites either.
Yeah.
So it's,
I don't entirely follow that sentence, but I get what you're saying. So, yeah, Larian is, again, they are a license. sorry, the licensee or the licensor, whatever. They have a license to use the D&D stuff. They are not. They're I mean,
and they actually have them over the barrel here, because as Wolfhart stated, and again, he's closer to this than I am. Larian has the ability to, whatever they write becomes canon, and there's very little creative control there. They can't bring in, like, you know, a spaceman from the 1980s has entered the D&D universe. They can't do something like that, but they can do a lot of stuff, and any conversation of any of the NPCs becomes canon. It would be very funny to me, extraordinarily so, if the game comes out and there's a whole quest in Act 3 where there's somebody who's basically like, it's a clear statement against, you know, Wizards of the Coast being greedy knobs, and that becomes canon within the Wizards of the Coast lore.
You could have literal wizards living on a coastline,
being absolute dicks.
Yeah.
Run by a tyrant who's like, we're gonna charge him more money. And he's wearing nothing but a ridiculous hat, running around screaming. It's like, oh Lord, that would be so funny. And that's entirely in their power. And trust me, the Larian team, they are not happy about this. They're not happy about this. Neither are the people that are currently working on the movie. All of the movie people, they are absolutely furious with Wizards of the Coast for doing this.
Speaking of which, I just saw a trailer for the movie for the first time yesterday, and it was interesting. I don't know. I want to know if you guys have seen the trailer and what you think of it. Have you seen it, Syb or Moon?
Obviously.
Oh, yeah, I hadn't seen it. I didn't know there was a trailer out yet.
We talked about the trailer when it first came out, because I was like, wow, this doesn't look terrible. This
it doesn't look terrible.
Good.
I also saw a trailer for this new movie that's going to have Nicolas Cage playing Dracula.
Oh, I love that.
Renfield. Like, you know what? Yeah. I could get back into the vampire thing if this is the direction they're going with it.
I think this is one of the... I cannot understate this. Excuse me, eating breakfast. I think this is going to be one of the best roles Nicolas Cage has ever played.
He just the little snippet in the trailer for that is he did really well. Yeah. All right, so are you disappointed we won't be seeing Starfield today? 59% of people say no. I'm not disappointed either, given that we know we're getting a Starfield dedicated show sometime in the near future. So,
Keyscape, they're not just whiny losers; they are hypocrites at their finest.
Oh yeah, the people saying you're evil if you play Hogwarts Legacy. You
got to remember
the
people who are posting this stuff, who are going on their keyboards and furiously typing about how angry they are that human rights are being violated. The fact that I guarantee you 90% of them are doing that on a iPhone or some kind of like Mac-based product, which are built by slave workers in China. You are so you are so full of yourself. I added a K there by accident. You are so full of yourself that I'm honestly thinking that when we're streaming the game in a couple of days, that we're just going to put this like, hypocrites are not welcome.
Yeah. No hypocrites allowed.
No hypocrites allowed. And anybody who pops onto the chat, I will go, you are a hypocrite. You are currently using products built by slave labor, by minority people in countries where the LGBT people have no freedom and no rights. How dare you come on here and criticize me for playing this game when you are using everything to do so by people who are innately evil.
Yeah.
Like, and all of I double checked all of my computer components. They're built in Taiwan and Japan. So giant FU to the people who are using Apple products. Not everybody using Apple products, but people that continue to use Apple products when they claim to be the moral arbiters of the internet.
Well, if you're going to,
that's the thing. If
that's the standard you're going to set for people.
Yeah, if you have an iPhone from years ago and like you just got it, because it was the thing at the time, and you weren't aware of any of this stuff, and you don't go around telling people what they should or should not do with their free time because you're a moral superior. If that's not you, then this doesn't apply to you, obviously, right? Because you're not.
What Syb is you are angry at the hypocrisy, not at the. Yeah. He's not saying you're evil if you have an iPhone.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I want to make that clear because sometimes I miscommunicate this stuff.
But if you have an iPhone, if you play games from Blizzard, if you subscribe to Disney Plus, any of those things plus a dozen more that I could list, if you do all those things, but we talked about this last week, didn't we? But you're online screeching about people playing Hogwarts Legacy, then you're a hypocrite. That's just, there's no two ways of this, just factual at that point. And if your excuse is, well, we can't fight every battle, well, where were you for all the battles before Hogwarts Legacy was a thing? I mean, give me a break.
Right.
It's such laziness. It's the easy thing to pick on. That's why it costs them nothing to. I mean, how many of these people were going to play Hogwarts Legacy anyway? I'm sure there are some who were going to play it and are saying, I'm taking a moral stand and I'm not going to play it. Yes, those people are out there.
I have a degree of. Don't force it on other people.
Sure. And I have a degree of respect for that, even if I disagree that that's a necessary thing to do. But
right.
Yeah, I am sure a lot of those people were not going to play it anyway. Are just out there yelling at everybody else to not. All right, so Polly's asks, Ash, am I your lifeline for TV and movie entertainment news? If yes, I feel like I do a good job and need a raise. I'm not sure what you're referring to, Polly's. You do post a lot of helpful stuff in the chat. I do appreciate that. But actually, I saw I just saw these trailers randomly when I was watching. I just had some YouTube videos on in the background, and they both caught my interest. And the Dungeons and Dragons one, I was like, this looks cool. What is this? I had no idea until like halfway through the trailer that it was a D&D, the D&D movie. Let's see here. Let's see. Anything important? Oh yeah, the naming of Prey was being discussed in the chat for a bit. Yeah, when they did that, they had the rights to use Prey, but then the new Prey game became nothing like the old one. I would like a Prey 2 as well. That would be cool. I'd love a new Dishonored as well. All right, so speaking of companies behaving badly, so we've got a couple things with Blizzard. First of all, so I feel bad for Blizzard fans in China. I really do. But there's something, this almost poetic. China's banned Blizzard's games. At first I thought it was just Overwatch, but I guess it's a lot more than that. World of Warcraft. Let's see here. Yeah, anyway, Blizzard's games have been banned in China. Really, that whole Blitzchung thing really paid off for you, didn't it, Blizzard? These idiots.
Yeah.
And then now there's something else big going on with Blizzard. It's
a couple of things.
This employee ranking thing. Yeah, can you explain what's going on with that? And
So again, there's a couple of things. So the big news stories today is this story that we're going to get into. Also, the closure of World of Warcraft in China, which was followed immediately by the banning of Overwatch in China. So not only did when Blizzard pulled out, they were pulling out World of Warcraft because they wanted to make more money off those people. More money, we need more money. So they spat in the face of the company that they were using there at the time, and that has devolved into its own chaos. But the Chinese government then turned around and banned Overwatch almost immediately following this. So Blizzard has really stepped in it, and this is also a warning to every major game developer and publisher. China is not a market for you. Get this through your head. You useless clouts.
Mm-hmm.
China does not want you. They've never wanted you. And they're not willing to treat you with any level of fairness or equity at all. Period.
No.
They are going to steal your content, steal your information, steal everything from you, and then as soon as they've stolen enough, they're going to boot you out the door. Because at the day that it was announced that NetEase was like, no, I think it was NetEase, I can't remember for sure. The company that was hosting Blizzard in China, the minute that they were booted out, the same day there was a trailer put out for a new video game that looked bizarrely identical to World of Warcraft.
Gee.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
And this
weird.
This is a perfect
Polly's-
time to, Moon, why don't you read that super chat?
Thanks for the super chat, Polly's. Poor Blizzard, they lost a lot of social points. In other news, karma is a B word. Hope the greed was worth your morals.
Yeah.
You're trying to play games with tyrants
stupid
who have
games,
no
get stupid
respect for
prizes.
your or F around and find out, or what else is that?
Right.
It's like,
Karma's a boomerang, and it just came
yeah,
back to hit you.
it is
in the
in the
spot
gonads.
where the sun don't shine.
Right. Right.
I mean, again, this is huge. This is absolutely huge in that this is a reminder to every big company who has been selling out their audiences in North America and South America and Europe, and saying a giant giving it, and Asia, lots of countries in Asia who have been bending over backwards. This is where it gets you. The minute that you think you're secure in your lofty throne, your kind, supportive CCP advisor stabs you in the back, takes everything that you have, and throws you down the stairs.
Yep.
And then sits on your throne. This is what is happening. Wake up, you stupid.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I can't believe there are so many companies this stupid that they fell for this after seeing it happen to all of the other companies. Like, the stupidity, the arrogance.
For some people, it's like that bystander mode where they're like, oh, obviously it's not going to happen to me.
Yeah, it won't happen to me. I'm sure I'm fine.
I'm exempt.
Or it's like, okay, I was nice
special.
to China, therefore they're going to be nice to me back.
They must have screwed up somehow. No, that's not the case. This is how they treat everybody, you guys.
They don't play by those rules.
No.
That's why they have literal concentration camps in their country to re-educate religious population and much worse. But let's just keep it generally people groups that they don't like and care for. Those are the people you're trying to play nice with, and you think they're going to be nice back. Disgusting and stupid. All right. Yeah. So I want to get to this quick. Lazy Clay Gamer had a couple comments. I was asking about backwards compatibility. We'll talk about that in a sec. So what's going on with this this employee ranking thing at Blizzard, though?
Yeah. So the employee rank thing is, first of all, our friend, our beloved associate, Jason Schreier,
Was that
a
one of
bastion
the cats just shriek into the microphone, or was
a
that
bastion of human decency and hypocrisy and backstabby BS. Somebody who a giant POS. Jason Schreier, who occasionally does good reporting when it's of self-interest to him and his company, who does absolutely shoddy journalistic work and has no integrity when it doesn't serve his immediate need, was put out this report that Brian Birmingham, I believe is how you pronounce his last
Birmingham? Yeah, that's an M.
left Blizzard in opposition to the ranked what's it called, the ABK
ABK? Yeah.
stacked ranking system. So that ABK is the Activision Blizzard King Studios. But the stacked ranking system, I can't remember what's the term for this. It's done.
Well,
it's like
my
marking
word for it
on
is
a
bell curve.
yeah, it's exactly it's like marking on a
curve.
It's like grading on a curve, like they do in which again, I mean, I always hated that system, even when I was back in university and all that. It's kind of like I could get, your grade depends on how well everybody else in the class does. That doesn't.
Yeah.
That's not objective.
No.
I mean, it's objective, but it's not.
So it's
not objective just to how you're doing, right?
Yeah. So say you and 4 other people are all salesmen at a car company, and it's a small car company, but and you all like work together, and you all manage surprisingly one year to sell the exact same number of vehicles. Everybody sold 43 cars and 23 trucks. Exactly. On the dot. Every single person sold the exact same package to every single person. Therefore, everybody was equal completely in the total work done, and the total money made, and the total sales earned for that year. And then on top of that, they also got a local award for cleanliness and friendliness.
You may have to cut this metaphor short, where it's like 7 minutes away from the show starting.
Yeah, so that's the thing. This ranked choice system would have their supervisor come in and give one of them a pay cut because they weren't as productive as the other people.
So you have to find something like they came in to work with their shoe untied once.
You have to have a loser in this system. The system is, and again, Mooney and I have dealt with this so many times in the past.
Yep. These
systems, you not only in most cases do you have to have a loser, but every single person has to have a below average mark for at least one thing. The last time I went through this which wasn't that long ago, because of course it was a government backed job, which is where this stuff usually comes from. But this idiot was like, so we have to, like, you did really good, but I can't give you a perfect score because that's not how this system works. We have to find something to put below that you're going to work on, in order to, like, improve yourself. And I was like, well, that doesn't seem fair. He's like, no, that's the system. I don't agree with it, but that's the system. And then a couple months later, I was like, hey, I want to get a pay increase and maybe, move into a higher position. And the response was, well, because you didn't score a perfect score in your thing, we can't really do that for you. And so it's a form of negative reinforcement. And it was, funny enough, Microsoft who popularized the system in the 90s. And over the course of a decade, every single product they came out with was so bad that they almost lost control of the market. And that it was so bad that they actually came through, said, actually, we've identified where all these problems stem from, and it's from this ranked choice system in which more people are more interested every day in playing the game of being employed here than actually doing the things that make us money.
What do you know?
Yeah, so a couple
could have
couple
seen
quick
that coming?
examples.
We don't.
Yeah.
Really, really quick. If you're going to start giving examples, we have
A couple of quick examples of how I know the time I'm watching. The examples are basically, it's like you come into a scenario where the boss is like, so yeah, one of these, somebody's going to suffer in every single team. So teams are like 10 people. So what happens? One of the smart people at the company moves into the team that has the lowest output in the company. Why? Because they know that they're going to be able to work moderately and outpace everybody else, so they'll never be the person who's targeted with this. What does that do for the company morale and the quality of work being made by that department? The answer is zero. The answer is nothing.
Yeah.
And so this just continues all the way along, all the way through. How does this affect your development? How does this affect your process when people are more interested in stabbing each other in the back than actually completing what's supposed to be done? It doesn't. It makes life a living hell. And that's what most people say. And the frustration that you get, you lose people. Mooney and I are in our main line of work, we were one of the highest performers in the entire country. Like, not just our local area, but actually the whole country. Yeah. I had a perfect safety record for over a decade, which doesn't happen in this industry. That doesn't happen. Even our bosses routinely got into positions where they could have killed somebody accidentally. I never had that happen. And yet somehow we were always passed up for promotion or pay raises or anything like that.
Yeah.
And why? Because of this system in which we had to lose. We had to lose constantly.
So Blizzard.
So first of all, Schreier put this out.
Yeah,
Schreier put this out without this guy's permission, and with him directly stating that he wanted this to be kept quiet.
Okay.
That he quit the company. He didn't quit the company. He said, I am not enforcing this issue. I am not picking a loser for my team. If you want to fire me, fire me. I am not doing that. And they fired him.
Yep.
Now, he was going to keep this quiet. He was apparently in talks with somebody from Microsoft. And when they took over the company in a few months, that would have come back to bite somebody in the butt, because Microsoft killed this system off years ago because they realized how toxic it was.
Yeah.
Jason Schreier burned this guy because him now being labeled as somebody whose story is out there. It's now the assumption is that he gave all this information to Jason Schreier, which he didn't.
Okay. Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
But it is
Jason Schreier
that...
burned this guy and his career moving forward for the sake of writing an article that would get clickbait. So that's the first problem with the actual story. The actual problem of what's going on here. Jason Schreier could have reported this whole thing through anonymous, using anonymous names and pointing out a general level of hypocrisy against it. But he went for the thing that would get the most clicks, which is this. So just so people know, Jason Schreier is not your friend. He's not a kind person. He is, for the most part, a hypocritical POS. Just so you remember who you're dealing with. And then just overall, it's a crappy story because it means that the general negativity around this is just going to get worse. This is a problem that stems at all levels of the company. I remember, so I was watching Asmongold kind of go through this, and he's like, when did WoW get bad? When did and trust me, if anybody knows, it's him. When did these companies really drop the ball? And the answer is, well, they drop the ball constantly because that's just how they roll, right? Like that's just who they are and what they do. And the failure is Activision. It's Bobby Kotick thinking that he's gonna rule the company with negative reinforcement. Why this? And did it work? Well, yeah, he made a lot of money, but I think that would have happened irregardless of him stepping in. It's disgusting.
Yeah. Well, the word's out now. People have lots of opinions about it online. I've been seeing everyone talking about it.
Yeah.
As for, Lazy Clay Gamer says, Activision Blizzard just can't escape any kind of controversy. Yeah, that's true.
Well, they can't because the problem, there's a distinct embedded problem with the leadership at that company, and it's not going away. And again, people were like, oh, is this Mike Kabara, the new guy head of Blizzard? No, that guy at Blizzard, he's not even the top 5 powerful most people at the company. So him being the head of Blizzard, he doesn't actually have the ability to change any of this stuff. And the decision of this thing went over his head, and he was not allowed to intervene on this scenario. Again, from reports that we have, he wasn't happy with this either, because he knows how bad it is for public work culture. But Activision stepped in and said, no, we're the bosses here, we know what we're doing, and this system works. Even though every metric shows that it doesn't. Pathetic. All right, here's the show starting.
Yay!
They misspelled starting, and then they had to back it up. That's so funny. Oh, you should probably move the camera
I'm getting
over.
I'm getting it switched over here.
40 seconds.
As Keith says, irregardless is still not a word. True, Dad. Starting soon, 30 seconds. All right, we're gonna full screen this biatch, so you don't have to see my ugly face and Moon's beautiful face and Syb's non-existent face anymore. As far as backwards compatibility, I think Lazy Clay Gamer, backwards compatibility, like having as much previous stuff playable on modern consoles or modern systems of any type, more is always better. Okay, anyone who's under 18, get out of here or call your mamas and ask permission. Here we go, the dramatic scenes of the employees working in their company, being all inspired and stuff.
Walking down the halls in perfect lighting.
Yes, this is how they enter work every day. Just everything goes slow-mo. And it's all dramatic. They have an orchestra in the corner.
Much drama.
Oh, you know what I forgot to do is test the lip syncing.
Well, there's no lips to sync right now.
Not right now. All right, let's go.
Direct from the devs. I love this.
5 big games. Okay. Redacted. Oh, they've got something coming from Tango that they're going to try to surprise us with. I think coming down the stairs and seeing that llama in my peripheral vision.
Hello, I'm Dennis
That would
Reese,
probably scare the
executive
crap out of me.
producer of Minecraft Legends. And today, we'd like to give you an insider's look at how we're building the PvP multiplayer experience for the game. Minecraft Legends is a new action strategy game set in a lush, dynamic world. It introduces epic storytelling, and you can form alliances with new and familiar Minecraft mobs to stop the invading piglins.
Minecraft Legends will let you play the story-driven campaign as an online co-op experience together with your friends. And it will also feature a PvP gameplay mode where 2 teams with up to 4 players each works to destroy the opponent's team space. The game will support cross-platform play and online matchmaking.
In order to create the best possible experience,
cross-platform
we
play.
partnered with Blackbird Interactive to develop the game. And it's been wonderful to see their commitment and focus on the Minecraft universe.
It's so much fun to be working with Mojang Studios on Minecraft Legends.
Here at Blackbird Interactive, we have a
Did you say
talented team of
Mojang?
developers who are using our background in strategy games to bring a new and exciting experience to the Minecraft universe.
We're super excited to share more details about PvP gameplay.
By the way, live chat, let me know how the audio balance is.
There are some really cool features that make PvP unique.
First off, players share their army and resources with their team. This means that individual players aren't able to win on their own. They must cooperate to be successful.
Communication is really important, and you can sort of really tell
There's
the
Max.
teams that gel
Max,
together
you
because
came
they
in just in
naturally
time.
form roles at the beginning of the game, and as soon as we start, you're off
Hey guys,
collecting,
what's going on? Sorry,
I start building.
I wasn't
we
originally
have our
anticipating to
favorite
join
roles,
until like
but we'll
half an
change them
hour
up.
later, but things worked out with this client
Also,
of mine,
the
so
world
I'm
in
here now.
PvP is procedurally
Sending you
generated,
the link
just
for
like
the-
it is in campaign.
we're watching.
This
you.
means that each PvP session is different than the last.
That it's different
Oh,
every time
that's
you play,
cool.
depending on how the map is generated, where the valleys are, the mountains are, where the secrets are, you know,
Wow.
where the towers are.
Well, I
In
mean,
Minecraft
it's,
Legends, the
it's
piglins are
Minecraft.
never
Of course, you're going to have a
present, and this
procedurally
includes
generated
PvP.
world.
Piglins are on their own
Well,
side.
I mean,
They're trying to kill
that's-
both of you at the same time.
So the opposing team is
this
not
is
the only
this is
thing
going
you
to
need
be
to worry
really
about.
interesting.
Beware of the piglins.
In PvP, there's
Oh
something
my
for everyone.
gosh, that's so cute.
For players who like action, they can go attack the piglins or lay siege to the enemy base. For players who enjoy exploration, they can search the world to find resources for their team, hidden treasure chests, or scout the enemy base.
So I just
Gathering
joined. This
resources
is
to help the
Legends,
team
right?
out, that's super
Yeah.
important.
Minecraft Legends.
But whenever I get into a PvP match, the first thing I try to do is to track down the Regal Tiger. It's my favorite mob to ride because it's really fast, but it's also really cute.
For players who like building, you can spend your time building defenses and upgrading your base, because soon enough your enemy will attack, and you need to be ready.
So the first thing I do when we start is everyone runs off. I open the map, see where the enemy base is. First thing I build is what we call an upgrade tower, where it allows you to build upgrades. So I place that at the back, away from the enemy. So I really pride myself in making, you know, impenetrable bases.
It's like Age of
Since the goal
Empires
of PvP
Minecraft.
is to destroy
Yeah,
the
it's
opposing
really
team's
neat.
base. Defending your own base is really
Yeah, and
important.
you get
have to
mobs
start with a
that
lot of
follow
walls,
you.
a lot of
That's
towers,
hilarious.
And some gates.
That's so adorable.
After that, you can just add whatever you want,
Tiny
freestyle it
minis.
a bit. I like to add different layers of walls, so my opponents have to find their way through to my base, almost like a maze.
And then once those walls are up, I like to actually hide my ice traps behind them to catch enemies off
And now
guard.
it's Fortnite.
When
Okay.
it comes time to finally take out the other team, my favorite strategy is to make a forward camp just outside the enemy base. Then I get the biggest, strongest mobs I can as fast as I can and start sending them in. Then I can smash down the walls, take out their mobs, and claim victory.
The real fun of PvP is creating a strategy,
She
having a
looked
game
so
plan,
enthusiastic about
deciding
that.
how you
The
think you're going
claim
to crush
victory.
the enemy, and then all of a sudden the hosts tell you,
The opposing team just built a redstone launcher.
and you're like, I can't do my attack now. I've got to like build an anti-siege tower, which is an anti-air tower, to stop the redstone launchers. You just have to be constantly changing your tactics. And sometimes you're like, I have no idea what they're doing. And then you certainly find out very quickly.
Resources, or do I have
A
That's
while
hilarious.
back, we
This
had
looks
somebody on our dev
great.
team use a strategy where they built a bunch of what are called plank golems, which are archers. So they're very weak, but they do a high amount of damage. And he had 40 of them, and he just ran through our base, ran around our tower, and took out our entire tower with such a simple strategy.
And that's why we still love playing it every day, because every game is different. You never know what's going to happen.
Well,
It
looks
seems like
like-
a very natural and organic evolution of the Minecraft formula, because as much as like I love Minecraft, it's one of my top 10 favorite games. It's it's been the same thing for the last decade and a bit, right? And this sort of takes the core elements of what people enjoy the most about Minecraft and expand upon it in terms of what you can do with it. And this seems like the most natural and most fun way to go.
Yep. I agree. Now, our live chat is not loving it, though.
Really?
They're not.
It's just because it's Minecraft?
I don't know. They're not impressed by the start of this show. By the way, everybody, say hi to Max Darrett, who is he's a colleague of ours. Does the Maximum News Show with Subsidian on Triple S Podcasts weekly, and then joins us for stuff like this sometimes. Oh, Forza. So yeah, I would agree this is kind of a weak start to the show.
Hi everyone, I'm Chris Sasaki.
And now it's going to get
We're
even
not
weaker.
expecting any.
The team is hard at work bringing you the next generation of Forza
Honestly,
Motorsport,
that's
built
not
from the
something
ground
that-
up to take advantage of the
we're
Xbox
expecting.
Series consoles.
We are expecting
This
again
is the
to
most
see
technically
where
advanced racing game
Microsoft
ever made.
is in
Today,
the
I'm joined by
point
some of our
of
amazing team members to show you how
their
we are making it
ideology of
look
like
real,
how they're making
sound
games.
real,
That's
Okay.
what we're
feel real.
really here to see.
Okay.
And
Hopefully we'll have the chance to
Minecraft
see some of that.
Legends, it's not huge in the sense of like, you know, this isn't a big game for us or anybody in our community really, but it shows that they have this out of the box thinking when it comes to doing this.
Forza
Because if this
Motorsport
were
features over 500
Activision
cars for you to
currently,
collect,
or if this was
race,
EA,
and customize with more
you
than
got to remember
800 unique
that
upgrades.
would have been full of
This includes over
microtransactions.
100 new to
You would have
Motorsport cars,
seen very little actual gameplay,
ever featured
and the matches would be highly
Racing is
static,
violent. It's a
and
racetrack.
they would be feeding into the to the FOMO, and they would be feeding into all this other stuff. So all you have to remember is like, this is what we're seeing here. You got to remember what are we seeing as a whole. You know, what would we be seeing as a whole from this company if it was run by people that have like zero morals whatsoever? And you wouldn't be seeing this free on Game Pass. You'd be seeing it pre-order now in order to get the FOMO special package. That if you don't buy this package right now, you're gonna that's gonna be gone, and you're gonna miss that. By the way, you have to order this from Walmart, Amazon, and EB Games in order to GameStop in order to get all of the combined assets to play this game, because there's going to be 5 power units, and if you don't have those 5 power units, you're just going to lose all the time. So again, remember what Microsoft is not bringing to the table, and like give them at least a little bit of credit for that. like
Oh, yeah, I mean, here's the thing, though. Like, Minecraft, so Minecraft Legends does look, like, it looks like a solid game. I feel like our audience, it's not the type of game that our audience is interested in. Same with this one. But quality-wise, I mean, this looks amazing.
Oh, sure. Forza Motorsport, I don't think anybody's going to deny, technically speaking, it's state of the art. But yeah, for me and most people, we just don't care. We want to get to the RPGs, the shooters, the puzzle games.
So yeah,
normal stuff we talk.
I wonder why they chose to start with these. I mean, obviously these games do have an audience for sure.
Well, I will say that the visual quality of this racing game is actually like ridiculously good.
Oh, it's insane.
like this is like, wow, this is so close to an actual like, just wow, this is visually stunning. Do I want to play it? No. Would I want to play it if they added guns and rocket launchers?
Yes.
Maybe, yeah.
Like,
that would, yeah. Especially if you had a scenario where you start out as just, you know, you're just in a car in traffic on your way to work, and then somebody cuts you off, and then that's when it's like weapon systems unlocked, and then you get to go on to tear. I mean, I just personally, that would just be amazing, right? Like I would love that.
Hashtag give Twisted Metal to Microsoft.
Yeah, with that kind of game with this kind of level of visual fidelity would be amazing. Yeah.
That would. You now have just created my dream game.
Haha.
That would be awesome.
Max, your content, you know, you delve into the deep philosophical implications and themes in all of these really deep, well-written games, but really all you want is bang, bang, shooty, shoot, awesome car game.
What does the flame on the back of Sweet Tooth's head represent in terms of his Jungian darkness? Yeah. You'll probably find an angle there of some sort.
I love
Yeah.
the detail our talented team of artists have built into Kailami. Fast forward to night.
Like that shot was almost like it.
You can see the distant
When the
lights
camera
of the city.
is in a realistic position, like it's on mounted on the car or something,
Every time you see it,
it looks photorealistic. It looks like it's just
simulates how hundreds of thousands of light rays
up close. You can kind of tell that this car is CG. Probably at a glance you can't, but it's still incredible. The
all smooth mirror and flat glass surfaces.
what kind of gives it away is how everything is just perfectly clean and shiny.
I will say though, next generation, when they are not able to distinguish between the game and real life, I'll probably pick up the game, just because that would be a major achievement.
There's an easier way to do that. Just get in your actual car.
Yeah, but you can't go
And
that
go-
fast on the road, dog.
Oh,
I mean,
you can. I think what you mean is you shouldn't.
Right.
Sound like my 5th grade teacher. Do you mean can or may?
Yeah.
I meant may. Now can I go to the? May I go to the bathroom, Miss Hayes?
Lazy Clay says, I wonder if we would get at least one unpredictable announcement. Well, they had one game redacted, although you could kind of see around the edges what it might be.
Oh?
Yeah, just at the screen right at the beginning. I don't know if you caught that, Max.
No, what was it?
The Tango Gameworks one you can see right now. Oh,
I see.
we're doing it now. Okay. Okay. What do you got, Tango? I'll turn the volume back up because this might be a little more interesting.
And you're probably wondering how I ended up here.
I posted
well, it's pretty
a
standard.
tweet. If y'all want to like the tweet and get
Check
the
this
news
out.
out there, I will post it in the chat.
Music player in my chest. It's powering up my new robot arm. Whoa. It's making everything sync up with the beat. Let's rock. This is awesome. That's the defect.
What in the hell am I looking at?
The name's Chai, not Defect.
Is this the guy?
Chai tea.
We'll take down this company. One boss at a time. Just so you know, they're insane.
Okay, not gonna lie, this looks kind of cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say the style of animation is very entertaining. It makes me think of like some of those cartoons I like. Very expressive faces.
The music is also like how they've added the music to combat. That's
Yeah.
interesting. That is genuinely cool.
Future Rockstar.
It's like Sunset Overdrive, right? But with animation.
Yeah, a little bit more of a musical bent to it.
Shinji Mikami, that's the goat, yo.
Over the years. And I'm John
Well, one of
Johannes,
the goats.
director on Hi-Fi Rush.
Chill out.
And there's a cat.
I want the cat.
So is the idea that you like do things in time with the beat, and it does.
Or you
it's
create
more
beats
effective
with what you do.
Oh yeah.
So everyone thinks of us as putting out horror games like The Evil Within or spooky games like Ghostwire Tokyo, but this is clearly something totally different. And if this game hasn't already leaked, fingers crossed, we hope it's a pleasant surprise.
Let's have some fun.
That's kind of funny that they know that. They know there's high potential with leaks happening.
そう思ってますよ. So we've been waiting for this for a long time. So let's jump in and explain exactly what Hi-Fi Rush is.
you wouldn't expect to see Megami
Hi-Fi Rush
working on
is
a game
rhythm
like this,
action
would you?
game, so it's a bit of a twist on your traditional action game. Here, your moves and attacks help create a living soundtrack. That means all your flashy moves, stylish and devastating combos add a layer to the music. The more you flow with the beat, the better you can connect your attacks and abilities.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
so
are in
like
total control during combat.
you do more
But everything
damage
you
if
do
it's on the
syncs
beat
up
kind
like
of thing.
Awesome music video. That's Hi-Fi Rush.
That's pretty cool idea.
You play
That's
as Chai.
neat, yeah.
I
You want to
am
be rock star,
extraordinarily not musically inclined.
Sense the rhythm of
Don't
the
worry, I
entire
got this,
world
honey.
pulsing to the game soundtrack.
I am. I can enjoy this game.
But why does the
As you can
world
see,
looks so much like
beat moves the world
Futurama to
around
me?
you, and it's the key to combat.
I don't know. It doesn't
Your
look
attacks
anything
will automatically
Futurama to
sync
me.
to land on the beat.
Like
making
just a
Hi-Fi
couple of the
Rush a super
backgrounds were
easy
like,
game to start
see at
playing.
Planet Express?
However, attacking on the beat leads to combos that end with a musical countdown we call a beat hit. Think a big cymbal crash at the end of a drum solo, like this. Landing beat hits unleash a combo finish that adds unique musical flair.
So it's
and
like
high damage
DMC meets that one metal game.
Goes wild.
Like, I see what they're saying, I see what they're talking about, but I don't hear the thing that they're talking about.
Oh,
The robots don't
anyone
either.
see the guy that did this?
This character's really funny too.
Yes.
How about we see it all
Very
in action?
entertaining.
1, 2,
Oh,
3.
that's
I
gorgeous.
like. It,
You're never restrained by the music. You can jump, dodge, parry, and attack
Yeah.
whenever you want, using whatever attacks you
yeah,
want.
bit rate's
It's not about mashing
terrible.
buttons.
That's on their
Key
side.
here
That's
is
not on
feeling the
ours.
beat.
Right.
Oh yeah, see, I'm terrible at this kind of
Your
stuff.
progress isn't blocked by missing the beat.
I'm not just
but you get
terrible.
rewarded
I'm like
musically and
genuinely
mechanically for
really
staying
bad.
on it.
Abysmal.
Abysmal.
When we
A friend
say
of mine
everything
makes
moves smoothly, we mean it. Enemy
a
attacks,
game, and he gets me to like play
cutscenes,
test a lot of like
dangerous obstacles,
stuff from it, and he put in a
you name it.
musical
It
thing
all
like
syncs
this.
to the music, creating an ongoing jam session of a
He
game.
thought that it would take like the normal person like
To
10
help out
minutes
is
to
808.
like ace it.
Your robot cat companion
Took me
literally
6
hovers over your
hours.
shoulder
Aw.
and helps you find that.
And I
point.
got it through sheer luck.
But we
I
also
just
have
figured
visual
that if I
guides
just
to help
like
you even more.
spam buttons enough in a random
We
way,
want you
because
to
I
be
had
able
gotten
to
to the
enjoy
point where I
Hi-Fi
couldn't.
Rush,
I just
whether you're rhythm
just
pro or
couldn't.
not.
So yeah, this is not for me.
This would be an awesome streaming game though, especially.
Oh yeah,
Chai also
It's
gets
just a big
live
jam
with
session.
his friends.
Here, please don't have copyrighted music in it. Like,
I don't think so. I don't think that's
We've got
what
work to do.
It sounds
going
mostly
for.
Try to team
original.
up with unlikely
They
allies
had
to
the
expand
Black
its repertoire of
Keys,
moves, both in and out of
Lonely
combat.
Boy
There's
playing a
Peppermint
second
breaking
ago.
barriers,
Hopefully it
and
wasn't
juggling
too much of it.
enemies, along with Macaroon smashing enemy armor and knocking back enemies. Tag teaming with Chai's partners.
I
and
knew that my
attacks
musical
opens
training
up
would
huge
come in handy
possibilities
someday.
for dynamic combos and over-the-top action.
I have multiple family
not
members
bad.
that have like Royal
The extra help
Conservatory
is handy
high levels.
because when you're not fighting, you're
musical
going to be
training.
running around and wreaking havoc all over Vandelay's corporate headquarters, where everything is trying to take you
so you're
down.
saying they'd be
You
amazing
and
at
your
this?
partners have a singular
Yeah,
goal in mind.
yeah, they're always amazing at this stuff.
Taking down the bosses of Vandelay Technologies. Besides wanting to erase Chai for being a defect, it seems they've got something a little bit more sinister on their corporate agenda. You'll fight through each department to take them all on, each level with their own musical spin on the rock genre. And then we have a showdown.
So let's get ready to crumble.
Boss battles are climactic set pieces, varying from straight-up fights and musical minigames to chase sequences. Custom choreographed to licensed music from amazing
Oh yeah, there we go.
So yeah, good luck
They got
streaming.
Swan in this? That's a deep cut.
Hi-Fi Rush is like nothing we've made at Tango before.
That was like
I
Smashing
It's like
Pumpkins
nothing you've ever
side
seen before
band.
either. It's a high-energy, feel-good rhythm action experience.
I
that's
don't
amazingly
know
satisfying
if
to play.
this is gonna be that streamer friendly, but maybe they've worked out a deal with all the songs that are in it,
I would hope so.
Could be.
They'll know that people want to stream
it's
this, right?
Microsoft. They got the pockets too.
Rockstar move, Chai.
But I'll hammer them if they didn't, and a bunch of people end up getting taken down
Yeah.
for just doing the game.
お客さんから怖いって言われたら俺もう死んじゃうかも。まあ他にもびっくりさせることあると思うんだけど、例えば
No, that looks really cool, and the art style, it just
いやそれは当たり前でしょうね。
man, the insane amount of work that
You
must have
can
gone
pet
into
the cat.
this.
Hey guys, most important thing, you can pet the
まあこれは
cat.
ジョンのゲームだからジョンからどうぞ。
So, not only were we super psyched for you to play this, we're happy to tell you that you can play Hi-Fi Rush tonight. Not a demo,
what?
Full game. Seriously. It
What?
launches on Xbox and PC a few hours after the show.
Oh.
And yes, it'll be on Game Pass as well.
We hope you
Nice.
enjoy playing the
Okay, that's some pretty cool stuff.
See, that-
There you go.
That's what they need to. That's what this show
That's
needs.
why they were so worried about leaks.
Yeah.
Okay, Microsoft is learning the best bits from Bethesda already. An announcement that has a game launching tonight. Well, Mooney, I hope you're ready to stream this.
Damn it. I
want to
had a lot of work that I had to do tonight, but I might just have to check it out.
Work, schmark.
Is there multiplayer to this?
This is entertaining.
I haven't seen any hint of multiplayer. That'd be cool though.
Here's your Project Armstrong pass. And welcome to Vandalay campus.
Yes.
And they just like Ghostwire just came out not that long ago.
Last year.
So that's kind of impressive that they have another game out already.
Yeah, that is.
Nobody learned about it.
Okay, Elder Scrolls
This
Online.
is the Elder Scrolls, yeah. Quick
Welcome
little...
to Hunt Valley, Maryland, and the headquarters of ZeniMax Online Studios. You just saw a cinematic teaser for the Elder Scrolls Online's next chapter. I'm pleased to reveal ESO Necrom, which will launch in June and is shaping up to be one of the best updates to the game ever. If you watch the teaser closely, you saw that Necrom will include one of the most requested features in ESO, a new playable class called the Arcanist. It's only our third new class since launch, and we know you're going to love it. The Arcanist wields magic influenced by forbidden knowledge and has unique abilities never before seen in this world. Of course, the experience of exploring a new area of Tamriel is the heart of every ESO chapter.
That's the question.
Necrom will unfold in Eastern
Because they were in
not seen
Skyrim,
an Elder Scrolls
so,
game since 1994, where you will meet new characters and enemies, reunite with some old friends, and explore a story based around the return of a well-known
I
Danger
think I'm gonna
Prince
stick with Sky
you just might
Oblivion,
remember from the
even though it's
Dragonborn
coming out in
Skyrim
2
DLC.
years.
You know, HP
For those of you
Lovecraft
new to ESO,
influence
we
stuff.
release
You
a
know,
new
it's
expansion
all-
called a chapter
it's
every year.
It's good.
Chapters
More power to
are
the people who
essentially
enjoy it.
standalone games in ESO that let you
I
adventure
mean, I love
in a new
that
region of Tamriel.
Eldritch
But
horror
you don't have
type
to wait
stuff.
for the
It's
Necrom
great.
chapter to jump in. We've got so many amazing experiences you can enjoy right now. If you love games like Skyrim and Oblivion, you'll feel right at home amongst the thousands of stories unfolding across every region in ESO. And as anyone who's played a classic Elder Scrolls game knows,
Maybe it is time
it's
to
all about those
check
feelings
this
when you're
game out
fully
again
immersed in the
because,
world.
like, I got this when it came out. And
Remember
it was
that
so
feeling when you
bad
first
that
encountered a
it
dragon?
Just, like,
We've got an entire project
just
that's overrun by dragons.
was like, nope,
Or questioned if you were
never
capable of taking
touching
down a
this
Frost Troll
again.
in Skyrim? Try it for yourself in ESO. What about the moment you visited a city in Morrowind that was built inside the shell of a giant crab? For the Oblivion fans out there, how about another chance at taking on the colossal Daedric Prince, Mehrunes Dagon? Just like any single-player Elder Scrolls game, you can have a blast simply by following the main quest line. Or seek out lore and learn more about the world. Become a craftsman. Go fishing. Decorate and furnish your home. Customize your character. Play it like an action RPG. And when you're ready, you can easily engage in one of the best open-world PvP systems. Run dungeons co-op with your friends for great loot. Or just join a guild to chat with others. The possibilities in this virtual
one of the things
world
I
are
really
endless.
didn't like about the game was that
New
I
players
couldn't
will
mix and match my
immediately feel
armor.
right at home because
So
our
I like doing
community
that
is one of the
in,
most, if
in
not
Skyrim.
the
I like
most,
putting
welcoming
on
the
like
planet.
heavy gauntlets all
We
the
invite
time. and
everyone
then just
who has
mixing
not
up
yet
everything
experienced
else I wear.
ESO to
Sometimes
give it a
you
try
do the
and
heavy
create your own
gauntlets and the
stories
robe,
in
and
our
other
shared
times you
world.
do- Yeah, just
There's
stuff
no
like
required
that, like,
subscription
I
and
like that mix
thousands
and
of
matching
hours of
stuff, but they
content to
didn't
dig
really
into,
let us do
solo
that.
or with friends. Explore nearly every corner of Tamriel with no level restrictions. It's magical being able to travel almost anywhere you please from the
kind of
moment
want to
you
go.
enter the world.
I just love the Cyrodiil
ESO
setting
is
so
available on
much.
PC and Mac, in addition to previous and
I love
current
the
gen
back.
consoles,
The world is
including
honestly,
a
like,
purpose-built
it's
next-gen
huge,
version
and
for
it's
the
cool, and
Xbox
it's got
Series
so much
X and
different
S
art in
with
it.
high-fidelity
And
graphics and enhanced
I
performance
see that
modes.
they've
An
really
added bonus for Xbox players,
improved
it's on
a lot
Game
of
Pass.
that.
And starting
So,
today, for a limited
it is on
time,
Game Pass.
we're making all past chapters available to explore for any player. So everyone can test drive all of our adventures, including our take on Skyrim, Morrowind, Oblivion, and much, much more.
I would still
At
just
ZOS,
prefer
we have
the
so
next
many
Elder
passionate
Scrolls
and talented
Same.
developers who
game,
continue to
single player
add to
game.
Elder Scrolls
I
lore
want
by
it with
producing
co-op. Like I
handcrafted,
do want
epic
the ability to
adventures.
play co-op, but I
And
don't
I'm
want
immensely
the
proud to be a
I
part
don't
of
want
it.
the 76 treatment. I
Believe
just
me,
want to
we
have
have
the
tons
ability
more to
to
share,
invite a
and I
friend
can't
to
wait
join
for
me
the team
in the
to show
world.
it all
That's
to
all
you.
I want. I don't want
Join
all
us
this
after
other
this show for the
garbage.
2023 ESO Global
give us
Reveal,
Skyrim
where
together,
we'll
but
go
for
deep
Elder
into
Scrolls
all
6.
things
Okay,
Necron.
they're doing another big event.
Thanks. See you in
on,
Tamriel.
What day is that? Thanks for. Good. I hate it when they do this.
When they do what?
The global reveal is at 3:45 p.m. EST on Twitch,
Something
but they don't tell me
evil
what
is
day.
swallowing up this place bit by bit. Nobody ever believes things can get this bad until it happens. Then, it's too late. But there are people who can fight back.
Stick together!
Now this is the third completely different style
Welcome
of
to
trailer
Redfall,
for this
Massachusetts, where the calm seas
I
and
hate it
sunny
when they do
skies have
this.
been eclipsed
Guys,
by a legion
pick a
of
style and
vampires.
stick with it.
Pick one.
Redfall is a story-driven shooter at its heart, which can be played single-player or co-op with up to 4 players. Choose your hero, each with their own unique abilities, and form the perfect vampire-slaying squad to take back Redfall's haunted streets.
At Arcane, we make games where the world
Berserk?
itself is as important as the characters. With Redfall, we take an exciting step forward, building a lovingly detailed open world to deliver our largest setting ever. Every inch of our open world is carefully handcrafted and packed with environmental storytelling. Explore the streets of a quaint island town, from the once bustling downtown to the haunted forest to the decimated seaside boardwalk and gorgeously detailed landmarks. But it's not all danger all the time. There are safe places on the island where you can rest up, chat with survivors, and resupply. Here we're at the fire station,
Sounds
one
a
of your
lot
home
like
bases.
The Division. Just with
I was just
vampires.
This is one place you'll
thinking
receive
that. Yeah.
missions from survivors.
There's something I need you to do. The old lighthouse in the bay. It's been used for over a century to keep boats away from the coastline. If we turn it back on, it's a warning to anyone trying to come to Redfall right now. Easy, right? Well, the lighthouse keeper is a real asshole. Joined up with those cultists and took the damn lamp with him.
Go on, Bert.
Here's a vampire known as the Shroud. Shrouds blanket the area in darkness, disorienting their prey. They hurl lethal projectiles and can even shift through the floor to avoid damage.
But to me, the Division would have been better with zombies and aliens and vampires. So maybe this is an improvement. I don't know. I am the blood. I am the blood.
Well, the inherent improvement is that it's made by Arcane and not Ubisoft.
Yeah, yeah. And again, I don't know if this will actually like stick, because it is, after all, just a rehash of just all of the other kind of shooters like this that we've had for a long time.
Yep.
And I don't know if any of them really are offering anything actually new.
Bug it out.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell with these trailers for the game. It's something that you can imagine you'd only really be able to figure out once you start getting into the regular gameplay flow, loop. No pun intended.
Yeah. I don't know. Nothing's jumped out at me so far about it.
The lighthouse is back
Nothing
up,
is. I'm not
but
super impressed
there's
yet.
more
The
waiting for
world.
you.
The
Taking
world
down
looks
vampires
really
angers
nice.
the vampire gods, who will summon the Rook to take you
But
down.
the characters look kind of blah to me.
Yeah, like what's gonna make
Let's
us want to play
transition
this
to what
game
you'll
over
find
something like Left
outside
4
of the
Dead
main story
for
missions.
the 100th
There's so
time.
much waiting for you. Redfall is filled with encounters that can pop up anywhere, like this brewery that's fallen under cultist control.
And is it
Save the
completely
locals
open
from being
world
offered
with
to the
additional
vampires.
optional missions?
Like our past
or
games,
is
you
it,
can approach a mission in many different ways.
like, again, that's the thing.
They keep saying open world.
I do like that they
Always
offered
be
this.
ready
This
to
was something
improvise.
that the Division never
Remy uses her
offered,
combat robot
was that
Briefon
you
to
could
help
go
distract
through
and eliminate
and
the
do
cultists.
you could do the missions like stealth mode. It's like that was so annoying that you couldn't do that.
Yeah,
And
well-
I hated that. Yeah, whenever I see a fire escape, I'm always tempted to climb it. But I never do, because I think that's illegal.
Why is the world so shiny?
Because
I don't like that.
Because
I want to.
because it's made by Kaylee from Firefly. It's all shiny, yeah.
Yeah.
So being able to go through and do stealth missions, like, I like that. That seems good. I do wonder if you could do the whole thing from stealth, like just completely like silent ghost your way through the whole thing.
That would be cool if they offer those different kinds of play styles. Yes.
Everyone's safe.
Yeah,
That would be an
my
improvement over the Division. And like the Division was fun in the
Exploring
sense of like
Redfall will take you
it had an
beyond the bounds
interesting
of
game
reality
loop for a
as you
while.
investigate otherworldly
Yeah.
psychic
Got
spaces
old.
to
Character
unravel
For me, it got
vampire
old really
secrets.
fast.
Take this vampire nest.
This-
These deadly layers change each time you step inside. Jacob sends out his raven to tag the enemies below. Dev follows up with his teleporter, instantly closing the gap.
Why do these guys only have like 5 bullets in the gun when they enter combat?
The combat looks. It lacks a punch to me. Like.
Yeah.
You're shooting the enemy.
Prey?
Oh yeah, love Prey.
Yeah.
He's got like one of the biggest
To
like
destroy a nest, you have to take out its heart.
video series
and all
on
of the
it.
vampires willing to die to protect it.
Prey, Dishonored, like, love those games. But the thing is, like, when you shoot an enemy and it just stands there, and there's not even any kind of like body lurch to suggest that there's physics in this world, it just feels so flat, you know.
Well, you know,
I think
like
that's
in regards to Prey, like the reason why I bring that up is I just hope that because both this and Prey were made by the same game, even though the gunplay in Prey was kind of iffy compared to most mainstream first-person shooters, it still weirdly felt good in a way. So I'm hoping
psychic spaces.
there's at least
You'll
an
find
improvement
dangerous
here.
pockets all over the
You know what I'm trying to say?
It's all vampire.
Yeah,
territory.
I see what you're saying. But Prey, like, being a single-player thing, you had this whole space station to explore.
Redfall won't truly be safe until the vampires
Yeah, there's
are
more
wiped.
to it than the combat.
Outside the
Yeah.
main story, Another one of
Like
your missions
this
is to
kind
take
of,
back
so far I'm
Redfall
getting the
neighborhood by
impression,
neighborhood.
go to the hub,
Find safe
get a
houses
mission,
hidden
go
all
do
over
your
the
mission,
island,
go back
and
to
then
the
work
hub,
your way up to the vampire
get a
No,
mission.
they're talking about that right now.
To reclaim this neighborhood, you'll have to defeat a powerful vampire called the Siphon. Whether you dive in solo or with
So
friends,
there is an
each
open
hero can
world.
take on
You
any
don't have to
situation.
go to the hub
Each brings powerful,
all the
unique
time. You can
abilities to
just
the fight,
roam the world.
And the upgrades you choose change
Right, but if
how
you
they
want to
play.
follow the story, it seems like you got to visit
Here,
the hub.
Layla's lift ability can be upgraded to
I
launch
mean,
teammates for airborne
I'm
attacks.
oversimplifying it, but
Upgrade Layla's
I don't
umbrella
know.
ability with bullet
It's not-
bill
it's not
to
grabbing
absorb
me yet.
enemy bullets and release
The
energy
talent
back at
system
them.
seems decent. Like it's got a lot of options. I see them reacting to bullets.
There are many ways to customize
Like the bullets
your
don't
hero's ability
phase
tree
them
to match
like
your playstyle.
you know, a human getting shot would, but that's probably the point, right?
Let's get some light.
Like those
on the
guys were
subject.
obviously phased by getting headshotted.
Let's hit on the arsenal. There's a wide range of weaponry, from military gear to new vampire-slaying inventions. From shotguns to sniper rifles.
Yeah, I'm not saying there are no reactions, but there are, you know,
And of course, there's also
just
vampire
overall
stakes.
feels like
Find
they're
these in the world
minute
to
in some
customize
cases,
your
like Keith's
weapons.
cases.
That was cool, like using the guitar head.
When you reclaim significant sections of Redfall, the last step is to face the underboss who controls, or used to control, that neighborhood. Underbosses are powerful elites of the vampire gods, with their own unique abilities, like this one's shield. When you prove yourself against the underboss, you'll receive a key of sorts. A skull that gets you one step closer to facing the ultimate threat, the vampire gods.
Thank you for visiting
I know,
Redfall.
Polly's still in the chat. Polly's, do you think that that's better than the
We sometimes joke that our games can be tough to
Warhammer
define.
game?
The one thing that's consistent?
We make the kinds of
I'm
games
curious
we
what
love
he.
to play.
I'm curious what
And
he
that's how
thinks.
Redfall was
The
born.
Warhammer
We
thing that
blended
just came
everything
out
we love
that
here at
did
Arcane
not go
Austin.
over very
Immersive
well. It
open
was-
worlds, unique
Yeah.
and customizable
Didn't-
heroes,
didn't offer as
RPG,
much as what
and
people were hoping
FPS
for.
gameplay.
And of course, our
Super
signature
hub game,
storytelling
no
and rich world
open
building.
world at all.
Along with our
obviously.
spin on one
I
of the
don't
most
even know if you
classic
could do an
monsters of
open
all
world
time.
in the
Vampires.
Warhammer universe.
It's been amazing to see
Each
how
of the
all of us
cities
have
holds
pulled
like a
together to
trillion
deliver
people,
our
so
vision for
it's like
something new.
Probably
Redfall
not.
is the biggest, most ambitious game we have ever made.
Our teams dove head first into this new opportunity, and we can't wait for you to experience Redfall for yourself.
Thankfully, you won't have to wait too much longer. Redfall's coming on May 2nd.
Thank you again for joining us.
And we'll see you soon in Redfall.
Here we go.
I don't know. I might check it out, but so far it's not grabbing me, you know? It's not like, oh, I have to play that.
There are too many games coming out in the first quarter of the year that I'll have to get to that I'll probably play before
Yeah.
Redfall.
Well, that's part of the problem. There's so many amazing things coming.
Atomic Heart, Hogwarts Legacy, Resident Evil 4.
I'm still working my way through Plague Tale. Because it's taking a long time to get that walkthrough done.
It's so much fun to be
Especially because I keep getting interrupted with other games.
This is our best sounding Forza Motorsport ever.
So recap, think there'll be a surprise at the end?
Let's hope.
Hi-Fi Rush, definitely the highlight of this show.
Yes.
It was very cool, yeah.
Yeah. I think we are. I think we are done.
Thanks, and see you in Tamriel.
let's do this.
But the...
All right, so that's that. Okay. Up next, ESO global reveal. Well, okay. I think we can.
Hold on a sec.
Oh, that's what that thing. That's today. Oh, okay, got it. Okay, that's fine.
Begins in
well,
5 minutes.
We're not going to cover that.
Yeah, we're good.
It's ESO starting in 5 minutes. No announcement or anything like Starfield wise. Like I was kind of thinking they might like hint at something or even just announce the date of the event that they're doing for that. And get that trending, but nope, we didn't get that, so that's fine.
Yeah.
So overall, like the other thing that you need to remember is that this is not their year. These are supposed to be quarterly events that's supposed to be happening. So every quarter or at least 3 times a year, we're supposed to be getting an event like this. So when you put that kind of in that perspective, it makes it a lot better because these are things that are like, there's nothing here that's like, stay tuned and pre-order for 2024. Like, there's none of that. And that's good.
Right.
Because we don't like it when they do that. Nobody likes it when they do that. I hate it when they do that. So yeah, this is clearly better than going that direction. So yeah, I think that this is a good start to the year, and that we will have to wait until spring and then summer to really see how they're shaping up as a whole.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, your thoughts, Max?
Yeah, the showcase as a showcase, and if you put aside the fact that, you know, people like us, we generally only care about games like Starfield, I'm still wondering where the hell Hellblade is. If you just look at it as a showcase in and of itself, I think it was solid. Like 7 out of 10. Not necessarily anything wrong. They showed off gameplay for pretty much everything. Pretty in depth. Why those upcoming games are special, and you know, for somebody like me, like I just said, who I don't really care about most of these franchises. Like, I mean, like I did say earlier on that Minecraft is one of my favorites, but I don't play as much as I used to. The fact that games like Minecraft Legends maybe look at it, it's like, huh, that looks really interesting. I might want to give that a shot at some point. Or Redfall. I'm starting to get a little bit more encouraged with each new thing that they see, but there's nothing that's really wowed me like you guys. And then Hi-Fi Rush, those things altogether, they are what make me consider this overall a solid. But you know, nothing that wowed me. So yeah, those are just my initial thoughts.
Yeah, I was wowed by Hi-Fi Rush, but nothing else.
Yeah, same.
So, go ahead, Moon.
Oh no, I was just gonna say same. That was the only one that really stuck out to me. Because I'm like, I love music, and like I can do third-person shooty, like fighty things. So I'm like, I'm cool with that.
Right on.
Yeah. I should probably qualify. Like, Hi-Fi Rush was impressive. When I say nothing wowed me, it takes a lot to wow me. It's like a very unique event. So, but yeah, Hi-Fi Rush, very impressive. And oh my God, when was the last time you heard about a game of something that looks like that quality being announced, and then saying, "Hey, you can play this in just a few hours."
Announced and released on the same day. Yeah, there's got to be. They should do more of that. That's awesome. That's like a feel-good thing. It's like, oh, this looks awesome. When can I try it? Oh, today. Okay,
right now.
That's that's always great when companies do that. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of echo most of you said and what everyone's saying in the chat. Let's see. Kisuke says, I was pleasantly surprised because there was something I actually was interested in at all. Yeah, I get what you're saying there. Some of these events recently have been like, okay, yeah. The last few years has been bad. I mean, you know.
Polly's with the comment. Next Starfield update, we will meet a new faction and the individual who will violate our privacy, as he will tell us against our will that another moon base needs our help, and he will mark it on our map.
Oh no!
Preston. Yes, Preston. Shut up, Preston. Okay. Hi-Fi Rush definitely. Kisuke says, I love the games industry because they've given me a master course in low expectations.
No.
Absolutely. I didn't go in with high expectations, but I like that it was a nice short show, and that it's not dragging on for another hour to come to the same place of, well, there was one thing that I thought looked cool. You know what I mean? Like, less than an hour for the amount of stuff they were showing. It was a good length. So that was about 45 minutes, I guess, 40 minutes. So like 8 minutes per game. Yeah, not bad. A little less because then you have your little intro and outro. That's all you need. And they showed us lots of gameplay. I could say that's a positive about all of this. They showed us gameplay for all of the games, if I recall. It wasn't like CG trailers out the wazoo. It was just, they actually showed, here's what it looks like to play this game.
Yeah.
I think for all of them. What's the one I'm not thinking? I can think of 4 where we saw gameplay. What was the other one?
There's Minecraft Legends, Forza, Hi-Fi.
Yep.
Redfall, and Elder Scrolls Online.
Oh yes, Elder Scrolls. Yeah. I had left for the majority of that one. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I've been leaving so much during the stream.
Oh, good.
Having to deal with sickness-related symptoms, but
I gotta take off, guys.
All right, thanks, Max. Thanks for joining. We'll
thanks for having me.
Yeah, we'll talk to you soon.
Right, bye.
We'll probably. There's not much else to talk about, so we'll probably wrap up pretty quick here. And I'm starting to fade physically, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think that the structure and format of the show were good. They should do more stuff like this. They don't need the big... Sometimes the live stage events are cool and all that, but they don't need all the filler. They don't need all of the extra stuff. Just show us what we came to see. Give us a game that launches on the day.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. I wish there were more. I wish there was more that was. But also, it's not that what we saw was bad. I personally am not interested in much of it. But it's not like what we saw was bad. And I think Redfall. I think Redfall is supposed to be that multiplayer experience. If I'm going into it looking at it like I'm looking for the single player story driven experience like Prey or Dishonored, might not be my thing, right? Still might check it out again if I have some time when it comes out. But like the game, so what they showed looked really good. Just not. I feel like I'm not the target audience for most of it, and I feel like most of our audience here watching live is not the target audience for most of it, but yeah, everyone seemed to think that Hi-Fi Rush looked cool. So, You gonna pick that up and play it tonight, Moon?
Yes.
I looked for it a few minutes ago on Steam, and it wasn't there, and then I refreshed it, and it's there.
Cool.
So,
all right,
it is it is coming today, but it just has the planned release date to be announced, and I think that's because they're booting up. They're booting it up literally as we speak, which means that there wasn't. So they did this smartly, and this is why it didn't leak.
Yeah,
is that they didn't Steam didn't activate this listing until after the show was done, until after like they had gotten the green light, and then they're uploading the stuff as we go here. Because when I first clicked on it, it was almost a blank page, but then I refreshed, and now all the added about the game information loaded. So it was literally, I think I literally clicked on it the minute that it came live, and then I keep refreshing here, and we keep getting it, like it keeps on, it keeps getting more stuff added to it. So I suspect that this is going to be available today on Steam.
Well, they said it. They said it's coming today.
Yeah.
So probably I don't know how long it takes them to get that already, but okay. So watch the channel or keep an eye on the Discord server. If we do a live stream of this tonight, we'll announce it as soon as we can. We'll see. Have to see when the game's available, and what Moon's able to do. I don't know if you guys had plans for tonight, but cancel them. Video game time. Yes. All right. Well, we should probably wrap it up there, but thank you so much for joining, everybody. Do slam that like button if you haven't yet, and check out the Discord server. Check out our other channels. Everything, all the links are in the description below. Leave comments if you're watching after the fact. Subscribe to Triple S Podcasts, and you can hear Max Darrett and Sibsidian on Maximum News every week. They do that. It's an excellent show. Get your weekly dose of gaming news in sort of a no-nonsense format. It's really good. And what else? What else could we talk about? Join the Discord server. Got a great community there. A lot of the people in the chat were... a lot of people in the live chat today were from our community. And before I forget how to English, we'll wrap this up. So, all right. We'll talk to you later, everybody.